Hello, in this episode, we're going to be talking about products. Now, some people will call products dots, which is still fine. So at our level, we have to use what we call the distributive property to open up the brackets. So I've broken this down into three aspects, okay? So we're going to talk about what we call the monomials. So monomial, we know that it is an algebraic term or an algebraic expression with just one term. Okay, I'm going to talk about the binomials, algebraic expression with just two terms, and then we're going to talk about the trinomials. That's algebraic expressions with three terms. Now, the first one will be, how do we multiply one term, maybe by two terms, or one term with three terms? So in our earlier grades, we did talk about the distributive property, whereby if we have, let's say, x into, I can say x plus 1. And then we needed to open this up. We said whatever is outside of the bracket must affect everything within the bracket. So this x and x will give us x squared. And then the x times 1 must give us just x. So we've just expanded this bracket, okay? So let's see, a monomial and a binomial. Okay, so one term and two terms. So in this case, if we have this example, we would have this negative 3y multiplying by the y, and then negative 3y multiplying by the 9. So I'll just write it out nicely before I do the multiplication, okay? Plus, we say negative 3y multiplied by 9. Okay, when we simplify this, negative 3y and y will give us negative 3y squared, okay? Then negative 3y times 9 must give us a negative 27y. But this negative and this positive will reduce to a negative. So this is negative 27y. Now we're going to leave the answer like this because these two are not like terms. So we cannot simplify them further. Okay, so that becomes the final result for that matter. Okay, let's look at the second one. We have 7x into 2 minus 3x minus x plus 2. All right, so we say this must affect that. The 7x must also affect that. And then here we don't have any number. So we shall assume there is an invisible one, which must also affect the bracket. Okay, so 7x times 2, that's going to be a 14x. 7x multiplied by negative 3x. Remember a number with its sign. Okay, that's going to be negative 21x squared. Negative 1 times x, that's going to be negative x. And then negative 1 times 2, that's going to be negative 2. Then what is left is for me to collect the like terms. So we can say this 14x and this negative x. Those are the only like terms, which means this is going to reduce to negative 21x squared. Okay, 14 minus 1, that's going to be 13x. This 2 is on its own, so minus 2. That becomes my result, okay? So that is what happens, or that's what happens when you're dealing with a monomial by a binomial, when you're multiplying. Then 2, if it's a binomial by a binomial, we normally use what we call the FOIL method. For people that have used the FOIL method, if we have, let's say, x plus y, and then m plus n, f simply stands for the first terms. So which means this and this will be the f. We multiply that first. Okay. Then 2, we have the o, which represents the outer terms. So this and this n, those are outer terms. They are external. They are on the extreme sides. Then I simply means the inner. So the inside, the y and the m. And then this represents what we call the last term. So y is the last term, n is also a last term. So in other words, whatever is inside this bracket must affect whatever is in that bracket. Alternatively, people also go to extremes of just separating this so that they have x into this same bracket, m plus n, and then they bring this y and the sign, which is a plus y, and then it's the same bracket. And then you open up those, collect your like terms, and then simplify, okay, if possible. Now let's see, we have x minus 4 and x plus 7, okay? So I'm gonna do it two ways, and then we see whichever people will appreciate, that's what they should use, okay? X minus 4, x plus 7. So that's gonna be x plus 4. Was it x plus? X minus 4. Okay, and then x plus 7. Thank you. So if we are to use the FOIL, let's look at the f, that's x and x, it's gonna give us x squared. Then x and 7, so x times 7, we're gonna get 7x. But what we witness is that this 4 is a negative. So which means negative 4 times x, we're gonna get negative 4x. Negative 4 times 7 is gonna give us negative 28. Then these are like terms because they only have x and x. So that's gonna be x squared, 7 minus 4 is gonna be 3x. And then we're gonna have minus 28 as our answer. Now, if I'm to work it out in the other format, we say x is opening to that bracket, and then minus 4 is opening to the same bracket. So x and x is x squared. X and 7 is 7x. Negative 4 and x is negative 4x. Negative 1, that is negative 28. All right. So remember, just the distributive property. Then collect the like terms, so x squared plus 3x minus 28. So whichever approach you use or you choose to go with, you're gonna get all your marks, okay? All right, then let's look at 2x plus 3, okay, into x minus 5. So I'll use the FOIL straightforward, okay? So 2x and x, that's gonna be 2x squared. And then 2x and the negative 5 will give me negative 10x. Remember a number with its sign. Then 3 and x is going to be a 3x. Then a 3 and negative 5 is going to be negative 15. We have like terms? Yes. Let's simplify that. So it's 2x squared minus 10 plus 3 is minus 7x minus 15. That becomes our final answer. All right. Then lastly, I know some people are scared of fractions, but don't be scared. For as long as you just understand the principle on how to do the opening up, come whichever number, it should just be treated the same way. All right, so we have this a quarter x is going to multiply by that. Then this a quarter is going to multiply with that. The 2 will be affected with that, and then they just like that. Okay, so a quarter x multiplied by 4x. Okay, something like a quarter x multiplied by 4x. This 4 cancels that 4, which means we're going to be left with just x squared. Then a quarter x multiplied by negative 3 over 8. So that becomes negative 3 over 32x. I mean, when you multiply in fractions, it's just straightforward. Yeah? So 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 8 should be 32. Then 2 times 4, that's going to be 8x. And then this 2 multiplied by that, that's going to be negative 6 over 8, which is a negative 3 over 4. Just simplifying it. Then we have like terms here. So x squared will be maintained. Then if I simplify that fraction of mine, I should be able to get 253 over 32. It's a minus now. Is it a minus or a plus? No, it's a plus. So it is 253 over 32x minus 3 over 4. And then that's our answer. We leave it like that. All right. So that is binomial with a binomial. Then what we usually like in grade 10 is binomial with a trinomial. This is typical of what you'll be tested upon, okay? 2 terms multiplied by the 3 terms. So let me just write this side where I have space. So it's a y minus 3x, okay? Into we have 2y squared minus yx, 2y squared minus yx, okay, plus 4x squared. Now, before we even answer this, we need to correct something. We know that xy is the same as yx at our level. Okay, so let's do the opening up nicely. So it's gonna be this y times this. We're gonna get 2y cubed, okay? And then this y multiplied by the second term, that's gonna be negative y squared x. And then this y multiplied by the last term, we get a positive 4x squared y. All right, then let's look at the negative 3x. We introduce it to these brackets. Okay. So negative 3x multiplied by that, we're going to have negative 6xy squared. Negative 3x and the negative, that's going to be a positive. So 3x squared y. And then negative 3x multiplied by positive 4, that's going to be negative 12x cubed. All right, then let's see if we have any like terms around. So I have x squared y. I have x squared y. And then I have this xy squared, and then xy squared. So it's a 2y cubed, okay? 4 and 3, that's going to be 7. X squared y minus y minus 6, that's going to be minus 7 xy squared, and then minus 12 x cubed. So these are not like terms, so we just leave our answer in that format. Now, if this is confusing, okay, if you find this confusing, please feel free to just expand this. Let's say 2y squared minus yx plus 4x squared. Bring the negative 3x here with the same bracket, 2y squared minus yx plus 4x squared. Open up each single term, you're going to get back to that step. Collect the like terms, you'll arrive at the same answer, okay? So that is how we would have worked out that first question. All right, let's look at the second one, part B. So we have a monomial, we have a bi, then we have a tri. So I can start with whichever one I want, but I'm gonna leave the 1/3 outside. Okay, so negative 1/3. I'll use these types of brackets. I'll have my a multiplied by the a squared. That's gonna be a cubed. The a multiplied by that's gonna be negative 3a squared b. And then the a multiplied by this is gonna be a 9ab squared. Then 3b multiplied by a squared, that's gonna be 3a squared b. Then 3b and a 3ab, that's gonna be negative 9ab squared. Okay, and then 3b multiplied by 9b squared, that's gonna give me a 27b cubed. Now I'm just opening it up because we've not done factorization yet, okay? But there is just a quicker way to just get the answer. So negative 1/3, let's simplify, that's gonna be a cubed. This negative 3a squared b, the positive, they will cancel out because one is positive, one is negative. Same applies with this 9ab squared. This cancels that, which means we just left with a plus 27b cubed. Then open this with a negative 1/3. So negative 1/3 a cubed, that's gonna be a negative 9b cubed. This becomes our final answer. So if you've already covered the difference and the sum of cubes, you could easily identify and see that no, this is a sum of 2 cubes. And then all you do is just multiply this and that, and then the first terms, and then you get your answer, and then expand with the 1/3. All right. So that is the case. So let's look at the last one, which is C. So with C, what we're going to do, we can see that A multiplied by that, we're going to have A cubed. A and that's going to be negative 2A squared B. A and that's going to be AB squared. B and that's going to be negative A squared B. Negative B and negative, that's going to be a plus 2AB squared. And then a negative B and a plus B squared, that's going to give me a negative B cubed. I cancel out what's common. So this cancels that. And then this, are you sure? Are you sure with your canceling? Let's see. Let's not cancel. Okay, so we said A and A cubed. Okay, this is going to be negative 2A squared B. And then AB squared minus A squared B. Okay, plus 2AB squared. And then, so we don't have any like terms, you know. We do have like terms, but they are not canceling out. Okay, so I'll maintain the A cubed. This is A squared B, A squared B. Both are minus, so it's minus 3A squared B. Same applies to this. They are positive and like terms, so it's a plus 3A B squared, and then minus B cubed. So we can leave it like that. Alternatively, this could be the same as A plus B, something like cubed. But since they wanted us to open, we can just leave it at that level. All right, so that is how the products can be obtained. Remember, we had the monomial and the bi, or a monomial and the tri, then we had the binomial and the binomial, and then also a binomial by a trinomial. So thank you very much. If it's your first time, please subscribe so that you get updates on the new videos that will be uploaded.